Good afternoon, brothers and family and friends. We're going to get started. I know that the Westchester County DA has a very tight schedule. Let me thank you all for joining us. I know that her schedule is very tight. So we're going to get started with our program. My name is Frank Williams. I am the Social Action Chair for the Beta Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. And ordinarily, we would be in the Eastview School auditorium with about 500 people. However, because of the COVID, we're not having our youth portion of our achievement program. So today's program is set aside for community leaders. We are acknowledging, honoring outstanding people who make a difference, who have made a difference in our community. And we look forward to having you share with us on this occasion. It is my honor and privilege right now to introduce our basileus, who will bring words of welcome, Brother Darrell Kidd. Brother Kidd.
Thank you, Brother Williams. In the name of the Supreme Bosses of the universe, in the absence of our Mayor Tom Roach.
I'm here.
Dr. Oh, okay, great. Brother DR Kevin M. Pofo, Brother Corridor Rep Kevin Woodhouse, distinguished guests, friends, and of course, the brothers of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We welcome you to our annual achievement program. And in keeping with what our brother, Carter G. Woodson, started so many years ago, we honor those people who have so richly and impactfully helped us in our community. We honor them today. And we just want to welcome you all to our program. And we hope that you will enjoy the presentation that we have. Thank you. I yield my time, Brother Williams.
Thank you, Brother Basileus. Thank you for your leadership. And we celebrate you as being an outstanding African-American leader as well. So Mayor Roach, we're going to switch our program just a little bit. Our DA has to jump off. She has another engagement. So we're honored and privileged to bring to all of us the Westchester County District Attorney, Miriam E. Roca. Miriam.
Thank you. And I am thrilled to be here with all of you to honor Lila Curtin. Lila, I have not known Lila very long. We actually really started working together only after I won the primary, so this past summer. But since then, I've had the privilege of either talking, seeing, communicating with Lila literally multiple times every day since then. And I have already learned so much from her because she has really spent her entire career, most of her adult life really, working for equality, for fairness in the justice system, for things that I deeply believe in. And I could not have been more proud and more honored to be able to promote her to one of the 3 people on my executive team to help elevate these causes, these goals that we share in common, which is really, when you boil it down, to make our justice system more fair and equitable here in Westchester, and to set an example for prosecutors and others in the justice system around the country. So I commend you for giving this honor to Lila, and I can't tell you how proud, again, I am to have been able to promote her, to work with her, and to share the appreciation that obviously you have for her dedication to doing this good work. So thank you.
Thank you so very much. And we wish you all of the best in your journey as the new Westchester County DA. And we, members of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, we consider that we're part of the family of the County District Attorney's Office. We're family and friends, and we're here, we stand shoulder to shoulder with you in your efforts to make Westchester County a place of success for every resident here in the County of Westchester. So best wishes and good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now, it's my honor also to bring our mayor, Mayor Thomas E. Roach. You know, I kind of think that the mayor is an Omega myself. Whatever programs and activities we have, Mayor Roach shows and attends. And I think, Brother Darrell, we need to get him some purple and gold because he's more acquainted with the Omegas than he is with the other fraternities. You know, we're all part of the Greek family, but I think he has a kind of a kinship with the Omegas. So, and I would say that Brother Steve Smith, when we had the bike giveaway not too long ago, Brother Smith was here with the mayor, and he was in the midst of service as well, even when he wasn't feeling his chipper. And we did take photos of Steve and the mayor, and I know the mayor knows all about Steve, but the mayor is here just to greet us and welcome and acknowledge those who are being honored today. Mayor Roach.
Well, thank you, Frank. And I do feel a kinship with Omega Psi-Phi a bit, but it's because of all the service that the brothers of the organization provide to our community. I mean, as much as you say I'm at all the events, I see Omega Psi-Phi members at all of our events. And as recently as during COVID, when we started our own city run food distribution, it was Omega Psi-Phi members that came out and volunteered at a time when many people were afraid to leave their houses. So we had a robust core of volunteers that came out every day, and many of them were members of Omega Psi-Phi, including one of our honorees today, Byron Smalls, who in addition to that has been a great asset to our city for years with our young people and my workout partner. Back when we were, you know, maybe we're not, I haven't been there in a while, but back in the day at Planet Fitness. But it is my pleasure to be with you today. I do blue and gold, purple and gold. I went to UAlbany, by the way, and those are the colors of UAlbany. So I'm right there. But Omega Psi-Phi has served so well the community. It just keeps on going, and it's well appreciated. And today's a big day for White Plains because we have Lila Curtin, White Plains own, being honored for her great work, and Pastor Williamson, who with the congregation at Bethel does so much in our community. We're just on the phone the other day talking about how we're trying to get more vaccines into the city, make sure they get to the right people. And of course, Byron, who I see all the time and has done so many great things. So it's my honor to be with you today. Congratulations to all the honorees, and thank you all for the work you do for our community and our young people every day.
Thank you, Mayor Roach. We're going to go ahead and continue with our introduction. And following our introduction, we're going to have an outstanding young person who's going to sing the Negro National Anthem and the National Anthem. And as soon as we finish with all of our greetings, we're going to bring in Sister Selah Armstrong. But we're going to go now to our district rep, Brother Kelvin Ampofu, who will bring greetings and words of inspiration to all of us.
Thank you so much, and certainly to this Beta Alpha Alpha chapter. Thank you so much for all that you continue to do in the community, and certainly wanted to ensure that I was with you all today. Despite the pandemic, we continue to lead and we continue to make our honorees recognized during this time. So Brother Boss's kid, to you and to all the brothers and all the leaders, certainly First Vice District Representative Delrico Gales, he's with us today as well. And of course, your corridor representative, Brother Kevin Woodhouse. Continue to do the great job. Long live Beta Alpha Alpha chapter, and certainly long live our precious Omega Psi-Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Dio.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your words and also for your leadership. You make us proud, I should say. I'm honored and happy to now bring forth Brother Kevin Woodhouse, the 2nd District Corridor. We work hand in hand and in partnership with chapters all over the corridor. And Brother Woodhouse, would you please come forward and bless us with your words and kindness?
Thank you, Brother Williams. Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased and happy to be here to share a part of this Achievement Week program to honor people in the Westchester community who have made a difference and have made a difference and are continuing to make a difference in society, especially during the challenging times we have right now. So once again, I commend the brothers of this chapter for the great work and the adherence to the 4 cardinal principles to make this place a better place in which to live. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Kevin. Thank you so very much. And we thank you again for your service and your leadership. At this time, we're going to bring forth Sister Selah Armstrong, who's going to sing both the Negro National Anthem and the National Anthem.
Hi, how are you guys? Glad to be here. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Selah. That was beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on. Thank you, Selah. Thank you so very much for those two wonderful selections. So we're working with Harry Bright to get them in, and so we're going to change the program.
Brother Williams, Brother Boykin, I will greetings from the county.
Hi, yes, Ben?
Greetings from the county.
Oh, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon to my brothers of Beta Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity and all our wonderful supporters that are on the phone with us. I'm Ben Boykin, chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. It is my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of all 17 members of the Board of Legislators. As you know, I'm in charge of the board operations. We are a co-equal branch of government with the county executive's office run by County Executive George Latimer. We're charged with passing budgets and also to make sure that we pass laws to protect the safety and well-being of the residents of Westchester County. The board has worked very closely with County Executive Latimer over this past year and throughout his term in office to deal with the pandemic, the economic, social, and racial issues and mental health crises that we're currently facing. Let me assure you that the county is there to help you. This past 12 months has been like none other in the board and in this county's history. We have worked diligently to respond to the needs of the people. We're going to get through this pandemic and get to a new normal. I'm committed to continue to work on behalf of the people of Westchester County to make this a better place to live, work, and enjoy. And let me say congratulations to all the outstanding honorees. I know them all very well, and they are all so deserved. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Borkin, and I apologize. I was trying to get Harry Bright, our brother Harry Bright in, and we just got him in. So we're back to where we should be. And again, thank you, Brother Borkin. And let me just say this, that our chairman, Brother Benjamin Borkin, is the chair of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. He's doing a great job, and we celebrate his leadership, and we want you all to get behind him and push him and encourage him. He is going to be up for re-election, and we all need every White Plains resident to support his candidacy. So we thank Brother Borkin for his leadership. I am honored and privileged at this time to bring to you former White Plains, the first African-American councilman in the city of White Plains, Brother Harry Bright. In fact, Brother Bright has a long and distinguished history, a track star, and of course his relationship with Jesse Owens. He's a man of all seasons. He's traveled all over the world running track and being a leader, and he's a special individual, and we celebrate his leadership. He is going to introduce our speaker for today, Brother Bright. Brother Harry.
Well, I think I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, thank you. You know, I apologize for being late coming in, but I'm actually not computer literate, but let's see how literate I am otherwise. I have the honor of introducing Mark Smalls as our guest speaker. It has been my privilege to know the Smalls family throughout the years. Mark Smalls' father and uncle and brother are all Omega men, and that we are very proud of. Mark joined Omega in the spring of 1977 when he was at Duke University, from which he graduated with a business administration degree, majoring in finance. He then proceeded to Columbia University, where he got his master's in business administration. And now let me talk about some of the things that Mark has accomplished. He is Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer with GEMS, the world's largest private provider of alternative dispute resolution services. He oversees marketing and business development for the organization, both domestically and internationally. This includes oversight of a 25-member team of professionals who focus on marketing communications, digital marketing, customer service, outreach, and developing the practices of the over 400 mediators and arbitrators who work in 27 JAM offices across the United States and abroad. Mark also led the organization's diversity committee and has frequent interaction with the company's board of directors. He has had several articles published on both marketing and diversity related topics and serves as the board of the JAMS Foundation. During his time at JAMS, Mark has been responsible for the transformation of the marketing function to the one that actively uses digital marketing tools that enable the organization to better target clients and prospects while more effectively tracking results. He has overseen major company initiatives, such as integrating the company's domestic and international websites, designing sales, training for associates, and updating the value proposition to incorporate expanded services, offerings, training for associates, and updating the value proposition to incorporate expanded service offerings. These initiatives have helped propel the company's consistent revenue growth during its tenure. There's much more that I could say about Mark, but I think at this time, I want to introduce to you Mark Smalls and say how proud I am of this young man. Mark, it's your turn.
Thank you so much, Brother Bright. I appreciate that. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, good afternoon. Good morning to me. Good afternoon to you, fellow brothers of Omega Sci-Fi and distinguished guests. Through the wonders of technology, I'm able to join you today from Orange County, California. It's a little chilly out here, so I have my jacket on. No, I won't go there. I won't turn the crowd against me early by talking weather, but I'm glad to be here. I will share that I'm truly humbled to be invited as your Achievement Week program speaker. Now, when Frank Williams called me, he said that we want you to introduce your brother who will be receiving the Omega Man of the Year award. And believe me, that was exciting enough. More recently, I came to realize that instead I was a featured speaker for the event, which really gave me pause. I've been a proud member of this fraternity for a long time. I was bossless of my undergraduate chapter. I've been a financial member in multiple states, and I received my 40-year pin at a grand conclave, but I've never been an Achievement Week speaker. So this is truly a highlight for me. Clearly, one of the things that makes today special is to be introduced by Harry Bright. And yes, he is my fraternity brother, but he is also, as he mentioned, a peer of my dad's and my uncle. He's someone that I grew up respecting, and I was able to spend many great times with both he and his family. So to say this is a full circle moment is an understatement. In fact, to show you what a full circle it is, my son, Terrence Smalls, who pledged at Morehouse College, and his third generation Omega is joining us on the Zoom today. Also have my first cousin, our first cousin, Byron and I's first cousin, Larry Jones, who also pledged at Morehouse, is on the Zoom today. And we also have other family here. So it's truly a family affair and makes this all the more special. In thinking about what I wanted to share with you, the message that God put on my heart was, what does achievement look like? Now, back in the day, we used to go to Webster's. I know at least most of you on the Zoom remember Webster's, but of course now we just Google it when we want a definition. I go to Wikipedia, and when I did that, the first definition I saw for achievement said a thing done successfully, typically by effort, courage, or skill. Now let's sit with that for a moment. It doesn't say a thing done, it says a thing done successfully. In other words, seeing it through. And what's interesting is that the definition allows that there are several ways that success can occur. The first is by effort, which implies that you have to put in the work. This brings to mind the expression, don't just talk about it, be about it. Another component of achievement is courage. An example of that is when you step out of your comfort zone to do something that is difficult or formidable. And the final path to achievement that's referenced is skill, which I personally feel is overrated. And I say that because effort and courage must come from within, whereas skill can be acquired. Now, let me give you a real life example. A young man can ride the number 6 train all the way from the North Bronx to Brooklyn every day to attend high school. That takes effort. In fact, given the state of the New York subway system back in the 80s, you could say that also takes courage. That same young man can finish his 4th year of college and hear his parents say, "We said we would pay for 4 years. If you're not done, you need to figure it out." To go ahead and not only get his degree, but then go on to finish graduate school, magna cum laude. I think that's right. It's one of those cum laude. I didn't get one of those, but it's magna summa, one of them. That takes effort and courage. I think most of you in the audience know that I'm not talking about myself when I share this example. Now I'm going to keep my remarks brief because I know it's a full program. But as I get ready to close, I submit that there is another important component of achievement, and that is commitment. So many of us desire to make an impact on the world, but get sidetracked along the way. It can be due to the pursuit of material wealth, status, the distractions of social media, gaming, or other trivial pursuits. Now, as a man of Omega, I can truly appreciate the importance of having a good time. However, to be a true achiever requires true commitment. A true achiever says, I could make a lot more money working in the private sector, but I know the youth of White Plains, New York needs me. A true achiever says, I could sell the home I grew up in and enjoy a windfall, but I'm not going to let the legacy my parents built leave the family. A true achiever says that I know there's a dangerous pandemic out there, but I'm still going to march for social justice many times. I'm going to host an assembly of care packets in my driveway, or help organize bike giveaways for children for whose families can't afford new ones. Now, Brother Reynolds, I know my role today is not to introduce the Beta Alpha Alpha chapter Omega Man of the Year. So I won't put a name to the example that I'm using to show what achievement looks like. However, I will share that Omega men like my dad and my uncle, who both grew up in White Plains, are looking down with immense pride today. Once again, I thank you for the opportunity to share these thoughts with you, and I hope we all leave today's program inspired to be true achievers in whatever walks of life that we find ourselves in. Take care and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We can give let's give Brother Smalls a big hand for that. He's a part of our White Plains family. His family is a part of the Omega legacy here in the White Plains, New York. And his dad, his uncle, clearly poured into Mark and Byron growing up to become great Omega men. So we celebrate you, Mark, and we celebrate your family, and we celebrate your family's legacy. Thank you for your words of achievement. Achievement is not what you get, it's really what you do for others. So thank you for those words of inspiration. And now we begin
Amen.
our celebration of honorees. Our first honoree will be presented by Brother Terrence Scott, and it's the Business Person of the Year Award. Brother Scott.
Good afternoon. Karen Aaron recently joined Feeding Westchester after an extensive nationwide search as their new president and chief executive officer. The longtime food banker has more than 15 years of nonprofit experience. Karen comes to Feeding Westchester from the Palm Beach County Food Bank in Florida, where she served as the executive director. Prior to joining the Palm Beach County Food Bank in 2017, Erin switched her focus from corporate America to the nonprofit world, serving as Director of Business Development for Russ Field in Pasadena, California, a marketing and communications agency devoted to the growth of nonprofits. She's also served as Development Director of Arkansas's Food Bank in Little Rock, where she tripled its annual income, Executive Director of Ronald McDonald's House Charities in Little Rock, where she led double-digit revenue growth each year while strengthening its infrastructure and organizational processes, and Director of Resource Development for City Rescue Mission in Jacksonville, Florida. Erin received her Bachelor of Arts in Communication from Stevens College in Columbia, Missouri. Erin is known for her excellent problem solving, communication, and relationship building skills, with success in fostering collaboration and building consensus. Her past experience demonstrates a history of creating and implementing goals that exceed targets through strategic planning, fiscal oversight, stewardship, and major gift procurement. It is this experience that has well prepared her for this most recent leadership role. Since working in the nonprofit sector, Erin's career has been filled with purpose and reward. She believes that the key to professional success is a willingness to see yourself clearly. So without any further hesitation, I'd like to present to you the Beta Alpha Alpha of Omega Psi Phi Chapter Business Person of the Year for Feeding Westchester, Karen Aaron.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott. And thank you so much to each of the members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity for this honor. I accept it on behalf of two entities. First and foremost, of the Feeding Westchester team. As you all know, I'm fairly new to the community, and that organization has been in place for 33 years. And certainly that team was at the forefront of hunger relief in an increased way since COVID began. The other entity that I accept this on behalf of is the community, including many of you. So all of those who have a history in hunger relief, and then all of the organizations and individuals that have stepped forward in the last 11 months to help us in this unprecedented time. I was at Union Baptist yesterday and got to have a little conversation with Ms. Claudia, with whom we've worked for years. She said that pre-COVID, that mobile food pantry saw about 75 families per distribution, and they're running about 200 families per distribution now. That is in alignment with what we are seeing across the county. So pre-COVID, our partners and programs served about 150,000 people each month. And right now we're seeing about 300,000 people each month. I am honored to say that at the same time, we've doubled food distribution. So pre-COVID, we were distributing about 900,000 pounds of food each month. And now it's about 1.8 million pounds of food each month, which is equivalent to 1.5 million meals. It is because of the generosity of the community and the service of many, including many of you, that Feeding Westchester is able to say, we are here, we have been here for 33 years, we've been here through COVID, and we will continue to stand alongside each of you and our partners across the county as long as it takes, because we know this recovery is going to be long and hard. So again, it's a great honor. Thank you so much on behalf of everyone at Feeding Westchester. Thank you on behalf of the community And thank you to each of you that have been standing beside us to provide food to our neighbors in need. We are really grateful. And I appreciate each of you at Omega Psi Phi Fraternity.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, and congratulations. And we just honor the work that you're doing. There are children, youth, and families who desperately need food.
Yeah.
And you provide the food, Feeding Westchester provide the food for our residents, especially during this COVID period. We congratulate you for putting food in the bodies and homes of our children, youth, and families. So many have lost jobs. So many parents have lost their jobs, and
Yeah.
we're just going through this time. And you're the light in our community by making sure that our children, our families have food to eat. So thank you so very much again.
Thank you so very much.
At this time, our chairman, Benjamin Borkin, will come and present the Grant Reynolds Courage Award.
Thank you, Brother Frank Williams. And let me first of all say, Aaron, thank you very much for Feeding Westchester. Union Baptist Church is my church. I've been there this summer with Feeding Westchester. My wife works in the program there. And you know, the county put additional monies in the budget this year, 2021, because of food insecurity in this county. So really thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
It is my pleasure to present the recipient of the Grant Reynolds Courage Award to an outstanding attorney and a public servant. First of all, let me talk about Grant Reynolds so you understand the depth and the meaning of this. Grant Reynolds, born in 2008, passed away in 2004, was a civic leader, civil rights activist, attorney. He was a pastor. He was also a World War II chaplain. He was a leading force in ending racial segregation in the United States Armed Forces, a major leader in the country addressing issues of inequality, social justice, and racism. He also was the national boss of our fraternity. So that is the kind of person that we're talking about. And Lila fits into that footprint as someone with courage, etc. I've known Alala for many years. She has a distinguished career in governmental service and law enforcement. She is a graduate, as many of you know, of the New York Law School. She has served in many positions, and I want to go through to see how it all has come together. She served as chief of staff for the County Board of Legislators. I know about that job since I'm currently chair of the board and I have a chief of staff. That job takes tenacity. It takes courage. It takes someone who's not afraid to get sometimes in the tusk, but it is someone who also has to have empathy and caring. For 16 years, she served in the office of the New York State Attorney General. She was also an assistant attorney general in the criminal prosecutions division. She dealt with white collar crime, public corruption, child pornography, among other things. She was promoted to bureau chief. She led efforts to diversify the staff in New York City, Albany, and 13 regional offices. Again, Grant Reynolds, civil rights, working for diversity. Lila Kirkman, doing the same thing. She was promoted to Assistant Deputy Attorney General for Intergovernmental Relations. She served also as the Assistant DA in the Queens DA office after she got out of law school. You heard earlier, Mimi Roker, the new DA, said she didn't know Nala, met her this summer. But she saw the courage, the tenacity of Lila and promoted her. And I'm going to read this title that she has, but you see how it all fits together. She is now one of the top 3 executives at the Westchester County DA's office, Executive Assistant District Attorney for Intergovernmental Affairs and Criminal Justice Initiatives, and Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. So you can see from her tremendous experience She's been able to bring it all together now as one of the key members of the DA's office in Westchester County. When I got the notice of her promotion, I says, I'm gonna have to read you this, Lila, so I don't get it wrong. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend, Lila Kirkland, recipient of the Grant Reynolds Courage Award. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my favorite county legislator of all, and actually my legislator. I am truly, truly honored and humbled to be with you all today. Some of you who know me well know that I'm a behind the scenes person, not an out front person. So this is very meaningful to me today. First, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the distinguished members of the Beta Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated for bestowing this award upon me. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to the distinguished fellow honorees. It's a particular honor for me to be recognized alongside Feeding Westchester, Dr. Williamson, the late Stephen Schmidt, and Byron Smalls. I'd also like to recognize Frank Williams, who does amazing work here in the city of White Plains and the county of Westchester. Thank you, Frank. I'm particularly honored to receive an award named for Grant Reynolds, a brilliant civic leader, civil rights advocate, educator, and attorney who stood up and challenged systemic racism in the armed forces. I want you all to know that I am committed to advancing his mission by working every day to achieve and advance social justice and equity in the criminal justice system. I've worked in this area for a while, but I am especially grateful to newly elected District Attorney Miriam Roca for appointing me to a position where I can advance and create a more equitable and fair system, particularly for communities of color. And I promise you all that I will do that every day. And I thank you all. Stay safe.
Congratulations, Lila. And
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your leadership. I've been your fan for many, many years. In fact, Lila's children are products of the White Plains Youth Bureau. They grew up in the Youth Bureau. And yes. And in fact, Lila's down in New Orleans now with her daughter, but she has two fantastic young people who are following in their mother's footsteps. So we celebrate Lila and her family for providing opportunities for all of our community members to have a more just society. At this time, thank you again, Lila. At this time, Brother Pastor Amos Marsh is going to present the Omega Citizen of the Year Award.
Thank you, Brother Frank Williams. I'm humbled this afternoon. First of all, I'm humbled by the glory of God. I would like to say good afternoon to Beta Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce and present to others the recipient of the Citizens of the Year Award. Reverend Dr. Williamson is a gifted God-fearing man, a dynamic preacher, teacher, mentor, dedicated, detailed and trusted, confident, a colleague, a leader. Reverend Williamson, his civic engagements involve working to make a difference in the community to improve the lives of others. Reverend Williamson is celebrating his 16th year as pastor of the Bethel Baptist Church of White Plains, New York. Under his leadership, Reverend Williamson initiated a monthly food distribution program with Feeding Westchester, where nearly 200 White Plains individuals receive food. Reverend Williamson also volunteered with the City of White Plains and the Youth Bureau, bagging food for needy families for weekly food distributions this past year. Reverend Williamson is active in the NAACP and Ministers' Council in a number of causes, including voter education and voter registration campaign. Reverend Williamson participated in a number of social justice marches concerning the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and others. Pastor William has spoke out on police reform at the county and city of White Plains level. Pastor Williamson has been an advocate of affordable housing and economic development for lower income individuals in our community. Reverend Williamson served as the vice moderator of Central Baptist Association. He also serves as dean and state director of Christian education for the Empire Baptist Missionary State Conference. It is my pleasure, my honor to introduce. It's been said that sometimes we have many people that walk in and out of our life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart. And Pastor Williamson is that individual that leaves footprints in your heart. I present to you the Citizen of the Year Award, Pastor Reverend Dr. Edward O. Williamson.
Thank you, Brother Pastor Marsh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a wonderful introduction that was. And I want to say to the Achievement Week program chairperson, Brother Dr. Frank Williams, the boss list, Brother Kidd, to all the brothers of Beta Alpha Alpha and Omega around the state or region that may be joining us. I'm very humbled and honored to receive this particular award. I especially have to extend thanks to my wife, Reverend Deborah Williamson, for her support in all that I do, and my family, extended family, and to the Bethel Baptist Church family. This award is a prestigious honor, and at the Bethel Baptist Church, our motto is, we're all in this together. Our church seeks to be a beacon of hope to individuals, families, the community, and the world. And if we can let our light shine before other people, we know that the love of God will be shared throughout our community. I thank the mayor, I thank the county executive, and other elected officials as we often collaborate to make our community a better place to live and to meet the needs of others. I also want to acknowledge and share my congratulations with the other recipients of awards on today. It's an honor to share this platform with you. Again, thank you, Beta Alpha Alpha. I'm very humbled and honored, and I give all praise, honor, and glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and to God, who gives me the strength and ability to do the things that I do. Thank you, brothers, and thank you, guests. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Williamson, for your work, for your efforts in addressing the issue, for having addressed the issues of voter education, social unrest, police issues, the issue of racism, not just in White Plains, but in our county and in our state. And we want you to know that we appreciate everything that you've done to make our state, our county, a better place for all. So congratulations to you. And we, just to acknowledge, I want to say that Brother Stephen Smith was a member of Bethel Baptist Church that with our pastor, Reverend Dr. Edward O. Williamson. So Pastor, before we bring the Golden Age, would you like to say a few words about Brother Stephen's membership at Bethel Baptist Church?
Yes, sir. Especially want to highlight Brother Steve Smith, not only a brother, but a friend and an outstanding member of our congregation. He was very involved in various ministry efforts, the men's ministry. He was involved in our not-for-profit organization, Passages to Excellence Corporation. And wherever he went, he tried to use his skill, especially when it came to being a treasurer and overseer of finances. But he had a love for youth, love for initiatives that blessed youth. He was a volunteer with the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts of our church when they would distribute toys and needy gifts at Christmas and at Thanksgiving. He was always one that would be willing to volunteer to help someone. And so the Bible says there's no greater thing that you can do than serve your brothers and sisters. So he was a servant at heart, and he served people, and his service really made a mark, and he left a great footprint and will always be remembered by us as an outstanding member of Bethel Baptist Church. Thank you, Deacon Williams.
Thank you, Pastor Williamson. And Brother Sam Washington will build on that as he presents posthumously the award in memory of Brother Stephen Smith. Brother Sam Washington.
Thank you, Brother Williams. So it is my honor to present the Golden Age Award, and I'll just give you a little history of what the Golden Age Award is for one of the highest awards we can give from our chapters. It's presented to someone, a recipient, an individual who is at least 65 years of age or older. The award is given as a result of extraordinary life contribution, leadership, and service resulting in community change. The award honors an individual for making a difference in their community. From the time my chapter brother, Stephen Schmidt, came into this fraternity in 1970, May 24th, 1970, it's been 50 years doing that thing that he loves. And that's something that Dr. Williamson just said, service. He was my friend. He was my mentor. He was my brother. And he was someone that really exemplified any of these awards that we are given today. He's been nominated for so many awards. When you look at the contributions that he did in terms of extraordinary life contributions and leadership in Omega alone, he worked as an undergraduate and Kappa chapter. You know, he was in multiple chapters here in Westchester and in the city. He was in Kappa Omicron. He was the bossless of Kappa Omicron while never giving up chairman duties in Beta Alpha Alpha. He has district wide memberships, leadership levels. So much so that he had the privilege of being placed on our current second district publication, the Omegan. And during the centennial of our illustrious fraternity, I mean, he was pretty much the adjutant of our grand bossless at the time, Dr. Andrew Ray, putting together many things in place so that we can have a wonderful and successful centennial celebration in Washington, D.C., as he made many stops all over the country, just chairing Omega. And this is something that it's an honor for me to present to him, and I won't talk too long about him. There are other people that would like to speak about him, but it is my great honor and privilege to give my brother posthumously this award, the Golden Age Award recipient. I am honored to give to Brother Stephen Schmidt, and there will be a couple of people who were really close and dear to him that at this time would like to give some words of remembrance and of encouragement. And first and foremost, I would like to introduce his sister, Jocelyn Schmidt Jones.
Good afternoon, friends and family. I'm here to say a few words about my illustrious brother, Stephen. I saw on the chat that somebody said he was quiet. From my perspective, he was quiet and he was a gentle giant. He didn't like a lot of hoopla, and he did all his heavy lifting for your organization from behind the scenes. And I appreciate that you are giving him this award. Stephen was also an avid reader, okay? So he knew a lot of facts and fiction. And he was somewhat of a trivia buff. So today I'd like to share a piece of trivia about my brother Steve that you may or may not know. Steve was a fraternal twin with my younger sister. And with our family, which I'm going to call for this exercise, the Schmidt Six, which was, I'm going to share this piece of trivia about him. If you can see this, this is Mother and Father Schmidt. And then these are the siblings: Melanie, myself, Vernell, and Stephen. And each of us, although Stephen was a fraternal twin, something you may not know, that each of us shared a birthday with another family member. Okay? So Melanie, my older sister, shared a birthday with my father's father, Stephen's grandfather, and their birthday was October 28th. I shared a birthday with my father, Stephen's father, and our birthday is February 18th. Of course, Stephen and Vernell, who are fraternal twins, shared a birthday on January 19th. And lo and behold, Mother Schmidt, who for a generation was a lonesome dove, my son, was born, Stephen's nephew, was born on her birthday, June 9th. So each of the Schmidt six shared a birthday with a person that was close in the family that was of the opposite sex. So from each and every Schmidt family member, I want to thank each and every one of you for recognizing my little brother, whom I will miss a great deal. I want to thank you for presenting him with this award of achievement.
Thank you for those lovely words. At this time, we would like to present the current boss list of Kappa Omicron chapter, Brother Wayne Watley, to give some words.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Bosses Kid and the loyal sons of Beta Alpha Alpha chapter, distinguished guests, honorees. Thank you for this opportunity to bring you greetings and some words from Kappa Omicron chapter. My name is Wayne Watley. I'm currently the bosses of Kappa Omicron chapter. And I want to say a special thank you to Brother Schmidt's sister, who just shared some insight into Brother Schmidt and his family legacy. Thank you for sharing that. We had an icebreaker a couple of years ago at one of our chapter retreats where we learned that Brother Schmidt was a fraternal twin, but he did not share the rest of that with us. So thank you for giving us that insight. We very much appreciate knowing that. I was Brother Schmidt's vice bossilus. While he was bossilus of Kappa Omicron, I served as his vice president of vice bossilus. And there's so many things that have been said about Brother Schmidt. I want to share this with you. For those of us that knew and loved Brother Schmidt, we knew that he could be very particular. He was a stickler for getting things done and getting things done a certain way. And as vice bossilus, there are times when we didn't necessarily see eye to eye on how things should be done or what should be done. And what I learned over time in working with Brother Schmidt is that he always came from a place of love. And that's a word that has been used by Brother Washington. That's a word that's been used by his pastor to describe him. I can feel the love when his sister talked about who he was and who he would continue to be for her family and their family. And that's something that I came to learn about Brother Schmidt. He always came from a place of love. He loved Omega. He loved his birth chapter. He loved his adopted chapters, Beta Alpha Alpha, Kappa Omicron. He loved his brothers. And he would always say to me, I would say, during the meetings, I would say, seasoned brothers, older brothers. And he'd always say, Brother Watley, we're just brothers. And he always came from a place of love. So on behalf of Kappa Omicron chapter, I wanted to say directly to the family and to Brother Schmidt, we miss you, we love you. And personally, thank you for making me a better vice bossilus. And now that I sit in the chair and understand what comes with running the chapter, thank you for sharpening me and making me a better bossilus. We miss you and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Watley, for those great words. And now we will have one more person speak. Close chapter, Brother Schmitz. Have Brother Joe Cruz.
Steve Schmidt, this is a celebration. Steve was a brother who had his hands in a lot of tills. Uh, he obviously, as a Kappa chapter brother, Sam Washington, Pete Mulligan, Frank Torres, Steve was always reaching out to brothers and telling them, hey, you got to get back into the fold here. We got work to do. And as I say, I felt like I was Steve's brother from another mother, because whenever we had a gala event, Steve would always bring mom and mom and dad could cut a rug like anybody I knew. They were always on the dance floor. So I know music was a big part of the Schmidt family. Um, Also, Steve was very adamant when you called him Steve Smith. He did not like Smith. He did like Schmidt, which was his name. Steve and I have known each other for over 50 years. Back in Syracuse, Kappa chapter, we spent a lot of time together afterwards. He worked on Wall Street. I worked down on Wall Street. And we were always on doing a road trip. He dragged me down for the centennial. Um, so I can only say that Steve will never be forgotten. He's still my brother. We love him, and his work continues. So as I say, Kappa Chapter Brothers, Steve will always be with us. We've got a lot of work to do, and we will continue to move forward. I'd also like to thank Byron Smalls, who put himself in danger when he went to help Steve out, and he got the COVID virus because he was helping him out. And that is what I call brotherhood. Thank you, Schmidt family. Also, I'd also like to say, Nicole, she has a great mom, Lucy. Lucy's on the call as well. Um, Lucy has been close with the family. As I say, I've known Lucy as long as I think I've known Nicole. And she's been very supportive of Steve and Nicole. God bless Nicole. God bless the Schmidt family. God bless my brothers. I love you all. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Brother Joe. And that's what we want to leave with right now. Gone but not forgotten. Steve, the last time we was together, he was doing what he loved for best, which is community service, giving away bikes to the White Plains community. And that was right when right before he got sick. And I just want to remember that. We'll always remember you. And the only thing we can do at this point is keep the legacy alive. And thank you, Steve Schmidt, the Golden Age Award recipient. Thank you for all those words. I yield my time back to you, Brother Williams.
God bless and thank you, Brother Sam. Now coming before us is Brother Dr. Corey Reynolds, who will present the highest Omega Award to the Omega Man of the Year. Dr. Reynolds.
Thank you very much, Brother Chairman. It's my honor to bring greetings to everyone today. You could have chosen to be anywhere else at this time, but you chose to spend your afternoon with Beta Alpha Alpha, and I thank you very much. It's very fitting that I am placed in this current position, as Brother Schmidt was one of the men who formed me in my Omega life. And I'm now able to present a young man, I'm going to use the word young, who I helped to usher into Omega. So it's fitting that that the legacy continues. So the Omega Man of the Year Award is the highest award that any chapter can give to a brother of Omega, to a member of its chapter. And because of that, I'm going to ask your indulgence this afternoon. I'm going to read to you the recipient's entire bio, because I don't think everyone has the program with them. And then I'm going to give a few words of reflection on brother that is being presented this afternoon. And for those of you who did not catch it, our senior brother Smalls, Brother Mark Smalls, made some indication about who would be presented this afternoon. So without further ado, I would like to present the 2021 Beta Alpha Alpha Omega Man of the Year Award to our brother Byron H. Smalls. Byron Smalls is the coordinator of the After School Connection program and the Bits and Pieces tutorial summer camp for the City of White Plains Youth Borough. Byron is also owner of the BHS Consulting Company, a locally based firm that works with schools, youth-based agencies, and private child care providers on licensing, accreditations, staff development, and management. In his time at the White Plains Youth Borough, Byron has served in many capacities and worked with many programs such as the Saturday Academy, the Greening Program, after-school programs, and summer camps. He has been recognized for his work with numerous awards, both locally and nationally, including the prestigious Joey Award for outstanding work and the advancement of youth development from the Child Care Council of Westchester. He was also selected by the National After School Alliance to serve as one of 18 after-school educational ambassadors to the United States, or for the United States, forgive me, please. Byron and his previous employment includes working in various teaching roles with the White Plains Board of Education, as well as serving on the White Plains Public Schools Staff Development Policy Board, Student Inclusion Committee, and the PTA. Byron also worked as a director of therapeutic recreation at Lincoln Watts and staff development trainer for the Mount Vernon Youth Borough, Child Care Council of Westchester, and several other school districts and faith-based educational programs across the New York area. Byron holds degrees from Norfolk State University, the State University of New York at Purchase, and a master's in public administration from Metropolis College. His work in support of his community ranged from serving as president and vice president of the Westchester School Age Directors Network to working with the National School Age Care Alliance, Institute for School Age Care, Westchester NAACP, the Ridgeview Congregational Church head trustee, Gedney Farms Neighborhood Association, United States Youth Tennis Association, Scout Reach Club Scout leader, and being a mentor to many young men. He is also a proud member of the Beta Alpha Alpha chapter, of course, of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and serves as a keeper of peace, the chair of the scholarship committee, and a member of the Just Love Foundation and Social Action Committee. Now, this afternoon, we heard a lot about Byron and who he was in his childhood. Byron had the opportunity to join any chapter, but he chose to join his chapter that serves his hometown in White Plains. And during his time as he was becoming a member, he exemplified what we would call tenacity. He didn't give up with any hard task or achievement that he had to attain. And it's so fitting that Brother Mark Smalls spoke about achievement in speaking about Byron. Byron is the epitome of achievement. He puts his head to something, he comes up with ideas, and he brings them to fruition. And he never does it by himself. Because of his enthusiasm, he brings many along for the ride. And I can tell you that this chapter and at least 85% of our outreach programs were spearheaded by Byron Smalls. And I can guarantee you that at least 99.99% of them were aided in facilitation by Byron Smalls. So this afternoon, it brings us pleasure and honor to present the Omega Man of the Year Award to Brother Smalls, and it reads, Beta Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated presents the Omega Man of the Year Award to Brother Byron Smalls for his personal sacrifice and unwavering dedication to our fraternity, our chapter, and our community presented this day. And his greatest achievement is being named a life member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated very recently. And he bears the number, life member, number 10497. So to my brother, for those of you in the fold, to my son, to my friend, I congratulate you today, Brother Byron Smalls.
Thank you, Brother Reynolds. Thank you for that amazing introduction, and thank you for all the support over the years and guidance. I think we both know that without that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today receiving this award. I also want to thank all my wonderful chapter brothers at Beta Alpha Alpha for showing me what friendship being essential to the soul really means, for nominating me for this award and giving it to me today. I don't know if you realize how important this award is to me. Growing up in a family where your father, your uncle, older brother, multiple cousins, and most of your role models are all great men of Omega isn't easy. Standards were extremely high, as was expectations, and the bar set for us was even higher. Giving up was never an option, and excuses were never tolerated. The cardinal principles that were displayed in my father's office and my brother's home were not just there for decoration on plaques. They were there as a guide for us to live and to learn, and of course, to practice. You expected to forge your own path towards excellence, but honor the paths of your elders that guided you and set new ones for the next generation. The upside was I had the most amazing mentors in the world. I had men of distinction there to guide me, to help me when I stumbled, pick me up, dust me off, and put me back on the right track. Not to mention a great big brother who was cool and brave enough to sneak me down to the Greek picnic in Philadelphia and not tell my mother. The same brother who brought me down to Duke University to see him and to see and meet his frat brothers and get a taste of campus life. Something I will always remember, something I know he'll never forget. When I was finally old enough to try and join this organization, I realized I wasn't quite ready. So I took a step back, focused hard, and put the work in needed to reach my goal, to reach my dream. I knew I had to come to Omega bringing more than just an application and a check. I knew I had to put the work in to even come close to men like Steve Schmidt and the other men on the Zoom call today. Once I got to that point, I was quickly reminded by Steve Schmidt, Brother Reynolds, and so many others that the real work started after you became a man of Omega. From that point, I have thoroughly immersed myself to work hard for Omega and following the cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. The very same principles as a child I read on those plaques in my father's office. The same principles that was shown by my uncle, my brother, my father, and so many of the gentlemen here today. Fast forward, I sit here this afternoon, proud to be able to practice and live those principles alongside my brothers of Beta Alpha Alpha and all the other great men of Omega. I thank all of you, all my brothers, and I'd like to recognize all the other awardees today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you for that speech and congratulations for all of the good work you do. You know, I want to say about Byron, he's a person who will not just roll up his sleeves, but he will engage everyone, everybody, the whole community, pouring his heart out, trying to make a difference in our community. He's a man of faith, he's a man of courage, and he's a friend to all of us, not just Omega, but he's a friend to our community. I want to say to all of us, we want to celebrate all of our honorees. We want to thank Mayor Roach. Mayor, we hope to have one day in purple and gold because he recognizes the importance of Omega here in the city of White Plains. We want to thank our chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators, Brother Ben Boykin. We want to thank our district attorney, Miriam Roca, for bringing words of greeting. We want to thank Brother Kevin Ampofu and Brother Kevin Woodhouse for being a part of our celebration. I want to thank Sister Stella Armstrong for singing with us today. We want to celebrate Brother Stephen's family members and Brother Watley for being a part of today's celebration. I also want to acknowledge Brother Tabidi Boone. Brother Boone, you might as well move into Beta Alpha. You know, you're part of, you really are a significant part of our family. Brother Tabidi Boone, you know, he's engaged all over our country with fatherhood initiatives, with former President Barack Obama. He's been engaged with our Grandpas United program. He's been engaged with my brother's keeper. He's a fraternity brother, he's a friend, and we thank him for being a part of our celebration today. Thank you, Brother Boone, for joining us in our celebration today. Brother Bosselis, we thank you for your leadership. We thank all of those who participated in today's celebration. We thank Brother Mark Smalls in California, who gave words of encouragement about achievement, and all of those friends and family members for making this presentation a success. Now, before I turn this over to our Bosselis, we want to take a picture of the full screen. So if Dr. Bobna Power, if we could have a full screen, this program is being recorded. We want to take a picture of everyone before we adjourn. So if she can get everyone back on the full screen for a photo, and then we will have closing words from our Bosselis, Brother Bosselis Darrell Kidd. So Bobna, if we could do that, and then we'll have a closing remark from our Bosselis.
Yep, almost done. If people could turn their videos on towards the end, I see a lot of videos turned off. So if you could turn them on, that would be very helpful.
I'd also like to say my fraternity brother, Rod Littles from Atlanta, is on here. So thanks, Rod, for attending.
And Frank DeWitt-Smith has his hand raised. I don't know if he wants to say something or ask a question.
Deacon Smith, did you want to say something?
Yes, I would just like to thank the Omegas for honoring my pastor, Reverend Dr. Edward O. Williamson, and also a close friend of mine, posthumously, Brother Steve Schmidt. He's a wonderful man. He helped me with the Boy Scouts, Troop 111 and Pack 11 every year. Matter of fact, this past Christmas, just prior to it, he called and asked me, were we ready? But of course, the pandemic canceled everything out. It's just wonderful. And Brother Byron Smalls, which I know him quite well. It's truly a blessing to the Omegas and to those you have presented awards to. God bless them all.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother. Right. Thank you, Deacon Smith. All right, let me know when you're done, Bob.
I'm done.
Thank you. So at this time, we'll have closing words from our Bosselis, Brother Darrell Smith. And again, thank you, Sister Shayla Armstrong, for singing those two songs.
Yes, thank you, Sister Sayla. It just warmed our hearts, your singing. And on behalf of the Beta Alpha Alpha chapter and the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, we thank you for attending our program. We congratulate all honorees as your honor is well deserved. Thank you, Brother Mark Smalls, for your encouraging words. Thank you, Brother DR, Brother First Vice DR, Brother Corridor Rep, and all the brothers in attendance and friends. We're grateful to have you join us. We do miss the youth who are normally honored during this program, and we look forward to having them rejoin us in our next efforts. Again, thank you, and we appreciate all your support.
All right, everyone be well and be safe. God bless.
Great program, brothers. Great program.
Yeah. God bless.
Congratulations to all
Well done.
awardees. Brother Smalls, I'm proud of you. Have a good night.
God bless you.
Good to see you, Joey. God bless you. Good to see you, Kurt. Good to see you.
Done.
Well done. Well done, my brothers.
Rodney. God bless.
Well done.
You all, everyone. Rue, bros.
Rue.
Get vaccinated.
God bless you. God bless.
God bless all of you. Thank you.
We got an inoculation today.